Hi, I'm Liz Schrum of the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show, brought to you by Grant Thornton, White Hirschbeck Dudek, Madison Gas and Electric, and our newest sponsor, the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee. On today's show, Tom Still, in his commentary, talks about Wisconsin's workforce advantages, and Zach Brandon talks about his new job as director of the Wisconsin Angel Network. I'll be right back with the WisBusiness.com stock report for early April 2011.
Please hold. Your call is very important.
Does it seem like getting technical advice from business advisors can, well, take some time? At Grant Thornton, client access to partners has made them one of the largest accounting firms in the country. Grant Thornton.
And now, here's the WisBusiness.com stock report for early April 2011. Rising female-owned firms. A new report from American Express finds Wisconsin had more than 117,000 women-owned firms at the end of last year. The number of those firms has grown by more than 30% in the last 14 years. Wisconsin ranked 37th in the growth of the number of firms. And falling, wind power. A second developer has suspended plans for a wind farm in Wisconsin. Midwest Wind Energy is halting plans for a project in Calumet County and another project that hadn't been announced publicly. Earlier this year, the developer, Invenergy, canceled plans for a wind development in Brown County. That's the WisBusiness.com stock report. Go to WisBusiness.com for more on these and other stories. And now, here's Tom Still with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
Manny Perez, who leads the state agency that deals with workforce issues ranging from unemployment benefits to training, is no stranger to the human resources business. He's a labor market economist who was an executive for Milwaukee-based Manpower Incorporated and later owned his own staffing company. So when Perez talks about Wisconsin's workforce development advantages and a few challenges, he does so with the benefit of years of private sector experience. He spoke last week at a meeting of the Wisconsin Technology Council to drive home his message that developing a 21st century workforce is essential to attracting 21st century businesses and jobs. Perez talked about three specific advantages in Wisconsin. The first is the state's work ethic. Employers from other states often talk about how they moved to Wisconsin and found workers here who actually want to work. Sure, that's anecdotal, but there's some empirical evidence to back it up. One such measure is the workforce participation rate, which has historically exceeded the U.S. average. In December 2010, about 69% of Wisconsin adults worked, compared to 65% nationally. The workers' compensation system in Wisconsin is another advantage. Workers' compensation laws across the nation help protect workers who are hurt or become sick because of problems on the job. The average cost per case in Wisconsin is fifth best in the nation, according to national labor statistics, at roughly $7,500 per case. That compares to about $18,000 in Illinois, which is fourth highest in the nation, and about $12,000 in Minnesota, which is near the middle of the 50-state pack. Workers' compensation premiums in Wisconsin per $100 of wages paid are under $6, which is the best in the five-state region that includes Michigan, Iowa, Minnesota, and Illinois, which stands at nearly $12 per $100 in wages. That's good for Wisconsin workers and employers alike. A third advantage is workers who earn professional certificates. Wisconsin is number 2 in the nation in the number of workers gaining advanced manufacturing certificates, with nearly 3,000 in 2010 alone. That's a leading indicator of the modernization of Wisconsin manufacturing, which is becoming more high-tech by the day. Of course, Wisconsin is not without its workforce challenges. The percentage of adults with 4-year college degrees continues to run about 2 percentage points behind the U.S. average and about 5 points behind our neighbors. We're helped by the state's above-average number of degree holders from 2-year colleges, such as the Wisconsin Technical College system. But to truly be open for business, Wisconsin needs skilled workers of all types, from recent college grads to older workers who have sought retraining to people from outside Wisconsin who want to live and work here. If Wisconsin businesses need a willing partner in finding those workers, Manny Perez stands ready to lend a hand.
Thanks, Tom. I'll be right back with Zach Brandon, the new director of the Wisconsin Angel Network.
White Hirschbeck Dudek represents companies at all stages of development and in a wide range of industries to navigate the legal challenges of regional, national, and global growth. At WHD, every stage takes center stage.
I'm back with Zach Brandon, the new director of the Wisconsin Angel Network. Thanks for joining us, Zach.
Hey, hi, Liz. Thanks.
Many people know you from your days at the Wisconsin Department of Commerce, where you held top policy positions, but you're first and foremost an entrepreneur. Tell us about the companies you launched.
That's right. Entrepreneurship is what brought me to Wisconsin. Now that I'm with the Tech Council and the Angel Network, I have to start talking about my technology-based companies, and I was part of 3 startups. The first one, I call it a technology company, and what we did was we took dirty media and we inserted it into a stainless steel drum. We filled that stainless steel drum with a liquid primarily comprised of oxygen and hydrogen. We then added a solvent to that called detergent, and then we would agitate the media, extract the liquid, and then centrifuge it, and then when we took the media out, it would be clean and contaminant-free. Some people know it as laundry. But in all seriousness, the most recent company was called Laundry 101. It was a laundromat bar and cyber cafe with a store in Ohio and a store here in Madison. And we also had 2 other companies that we started, one called Video 101, which was like prehistoric Netflix, where we would deliver videos much like a pizza, but it was pre-internet. And the last was a company called 101 Bottles of Beer on the Wall, which was a beer and wine delivery. You can see the theme and trend here.
Now, the Angel Network is a program of the Tech Council launched 5 years ago to help connect investors and entrepreneurs. Tell us how the Angel Network helps.
When I went out to start my businesses, one of the biggest barriers that I encountered, and it's not unique to me, it's every entrepreneur, whether it's a technology company or a minority business startup, that access to capital is a real barrier. And helping companies connect to that capital and to raise money is an important opportunity and an important responsibility for the Technology Council and for the Angel Network. What the Angel Network does is it connects those investors and those entrepreneurs by creating a deal pipe flow. And that pipeline and that opportunity to connect those 2 pieces is what's going to help the state recover.
And what are your goals for growing the Angel Network?
Well, the previous director, Joe Kramer, and the Technology Council under Tom Still's leadership have done a great job of just growing the networks. They grew from less than a handful just a few years ago to 23 now, and we have them all over the state, including Vilas County and in the Superior area, and that's great for investment opportunities in the state of Wisconsin. My goal, and what I hope to accomplish as the new director, will be to strengthen those existing 23 networks to make sure that they have a strong deal pipeline, that there are deal flows coming through for them to look at, making sure that there's entrepreneurs that are in the deal flow and that they're connecting to each other, and making sure that we bring more investment into those networks. And at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to have more investment deals and more entrepreneurs in the state.
Thanks, Zach, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, The Show. The show is produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and sponsored by Grant Thornton, White Hirschbeck Dudek, MG&E, and UW-Milwaukee. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum. See you next time.